Listening closely? Here are 5 games with surround sound so terrifying you'll be reaching for the mute button. Sound. We often forget how effective it can be at making us terrified. How even the most innocuous scenes can be made frightful with the right audio. And how taking your headphones off can change everything. Audio is a crucial part of many horror games, especially when they make the most of spooky surround sound or 3D audio. It's the best way to hear the sound of monsters in pursuit right behind you. The whispers in your ear so real you can almost feel the breath. And the hide and seek with something awful, where every noise could be the difference between life and death. And with that in mind, we've picked 5 horror games that make the most of sound to terrify and entertain us. And if you're new to the channel, hello! Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and toll the notification bell so you know when our next video arrives. Toll just means ring, by the way. But for now, here are 5 horror games that use sound to scare you. The Resident Evil series has been terrifying us for years. Whether through lumbering, incessant zombies or classic jump scares, we know we're in for nerve-shredding terror. And yet somehow, the remake of Resident Evil 2 finds new ways to terrify us thanks to its incredible spatial sound settings, which mean you can hear things lurking either side of you before you even see them.
I don't like the sound of that.
And while some zombies can splatter into pieces like rotten grapes thrown at a wall with a well-aimed hit, the real fear comes from knowing you can't do that every time. There's the hiss of lickers lurking on the ceiling, or worse still, the size 18 tread of Mr. X stomping around in the next room. Oh yes, if you thought those menacing boots were bad before, try putting on your headphones and pretending that there isn't an 8-foot genetically crafted killing machine in the room with you. All this makes the desperate survival elements of Resident Evil feel so much more effective, giving you the sense that things are happening around you rather than just in the room you're in. The Alien franchise has done loads for sound design in games. The frantic bleep of motion trackers, the burst of pulse rifles. So it's no surprise Alien Isolation is all about great audio. The audio in Alien Isolation is designed to manipulate player emotions, almost making you see and feel what you hear. And with headphones, that fear is much, much closer, to the point you'll want to check your shoulder for drool when the xenomorph is breathing down your neck. The only consolation is that if you can hear it, at least you know where it is. Because for most of your time aboard the Sevastopol, you're creeping around listening out for the dull thud of those distinctive footsteps, which were even designed to include sub-frequencies that hint at how big and heavy the alien is. The result is a game of horrid hide and seek, where you run around silently crying, knowing that the stuff you can hear is usually far worse than the stuff you can see. And worst of all, when you think you've heard the alien in the vents above you, you probably have. Now would be a good time to find a desk to hide under. If you thought it was just the oppressive darkness that made Blair Witch so terrifying, you clearly weren't playing with headphones. Immersive sound is what brings the malevolent presence lurking in Burkittsville, Maryland to life. These whispers and cracks of sticks underfoot pack much more of a pagan punch when they come at you from all angles. When something is in more than one place, we lose control over it, and that's one reason why the audio in Blair Witch is so effective. Although you can take the headphones off to regain it. We'll only judge a little. It also means you get immersive panting from Bullet when you pet him, so, you know, it's not all bad. Who's a good boy? Blair Witch has orchestrated an unsettling symphony. Whether it's the echoes from within that abandoned house or screeches reverberating from the darkness, it's not the kind of soundtrack to listen to when you're walking home at night. Or any time you're not playing the game, in fact. It's well structured to feel random and unsettling as you run through the wilderness, making it feel like something is always out there, because there absolutely is.
We're not alone here.
Sometimes the suspense of expecting something to leap out is worse than it actually appearing, which is something both the film and game love to play with, because the fear of a jump scare is often worse than the real thing. It will come as no surprise to see Hellblade on this list, since it's the Viking poster child for binaural sound. Like Wiccan whispers from Blair Witch, sound is a huge part of what makes Hellblade so unsettling. The demonic gods and ever-changing environment help to confuse you, but it's the frantic and conflicting whispers in both ears that make this far more than just a hack-and-slash adventure.
Wait, it's him.
I panicked when I first started playing, expecting a co-worker to be standing over me with a manic look, only to realise it was a voice in-game. It's fine, it's not real, probably. It's a testament to the power of audio that Hellblade made me feel like this was really happening though. And while it's not a horror game in the same sense as other titles on this list, the gradual descent into hell to save your loved one will make that first romantic walk along the beach seem like a distant dream.
I will tell you my stories of hell.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent is the omnipresent house on the hill of great audio in games. It's a game of horrifying, splashing footsteps, creaking doors, and constant, debilitating fear. And the classic creepy setting so synonymous with Halloween that it's the ideal game to play with comforting consolation candy. Yes, I'll just sit here in the wardrobe and eat my chocolate. No harm can come to me. And despite being 10 years old, The Dark Descent is still just as scary as ever. While the mechanic of keeping the lantern lit and staying away from the dark is the obvious thing to remember, it's the audio that gives this game proper context and atmosphere. You always know that something is pursuing you, even if you can't see exactly what, and it's the sound that makes that so effective. I'm looking at you, Flooded Cellar. If you've trodden the horrid dungeons one too many times though, don't forget you can check out the excellent Amnesia Rebirth for a new take on shadowy horror. Hit the link on screen to hear Louise's thoughts. So those were 5 games that deserve to be played with headphones so you can fully feel the fear of their spooky surround sound. And don't forget to hit the link on screen now to pick yourself up a pair of best-in-class gaming headphones that you can take off when it all gets a bit much. Let us know if you've had to mute any of these in the comments below. I muted all of them. And if you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a like. And for more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And for one more haunting noise before we go, hit the notification bell. Okay, there's no noise. Just wonderful reminders of when we have new videos up.